According to the Child Mind Institute, teenagers and young adult users who spend most of their time on social media were seen to have a substantially higher reported rate of depression than people who spend less time on social media. And even though I wasn't somebody who hit the depression road, I was definitely headed that way. I know when I was heavily using social media, one of the things I struggled with greatly was insecurity. However, when I stopped, I recognized my mental health start to rebuild and my confidence as well. Due to social media's ability to grant instant affirmation to a lot of people, more and more of them, especially teenagers, are starting to fall into some form of mental illness. Therefore, the time spent on social media should definitely be reevaluated and, quite frankly, reduced. So today we're going to talk about, I'm actually going to challenge you guys to think about the role that social media plays in your life, and just also reflect on how much time that you spend on social media. To do that, we're going to talk about the correlation between mental illness and social media usage. We're also going to talk about the benefits to implementing some form of restriction on social media usage time. So some of the negative effects to social media. Here we have a cell phone that's supposed to represent our social media usage time, which is where primarily we're on social media, right? So the negative effects, these are our smiley faces, okay? We don't like these. First one we have is social isolation. What is social isolation? It's basically you are developing so many online, electronic, virtual relationships and connections, right? But you're not having enough real face-to-face interactions with people. So it makes you uncomfortable once you get into real face-to-face interactions, and you start to feel more inclined to just live your life on social media, which isn't always the most beneficial thing. Secondly, we have FOMO, which is an acronym. It's FOMO, and it stands for fear of missing out. So an example of this, say you're scrolling on your social media page and you see a picture of a party posted with your friends that you just were not invited to, and that's awkward, right?
Yeah,
We don't like that, and it could start to lead to feelings of, do my friends really like me? You know, am I really appreciated? Am I really a part of the friend group?
Facts.
And that's basically what fear of missing out is. It's just you don't want to miss out anymore. A third thing is comparison. That is something a lot of people encounter when they're on social media for long periods of time, and that greatly affects their self-esteem. We also have disrupted concentration. So how many times have you guys been trying to do homework or something important and your phone just started blowing up because of social media notifications, whatever it might be, you Insta-famous or whatever, and it's distracting, right? So that's a negative effect for sure. And then something else is sleep deprivation. This, you'd be shocked to know that actually 60% of people that before going to bed, they use social media, and what they might have intended to be like a 10-minute session turns into like hours of scrolling and watching videos and reposting, retweeting, whatever it might be. So we definitely want to avoid that. After going over all that too much social media time can do to you, would be nice to hear like what the absence of social media could possibly do for you, right? So that's where we're going to transform this cool, well, not cool, frowny face to a really cool smiley face. Nice. We're going to talk about the smiley face stuff. So first, we have the opposite of all the negative effects that I mentioned is going to be true. So the sleep deprivation thing, that's going to go away. The social isolation thing, all that will go away if you start to reduce the amount of time that you spend on social media. You'll get more time back in your regular day. You'll also start to become more mindful of your surroundings, your physical surroundings. And it could even increase the likeliness of you having daily reflections and appreciating just self-growth and life in general. So, JC, I am ready to reevaluate all my social media times, I recognize I have a problem.
Yes.
Maybe there's something I need to do about it. So what can I do? I'm glad you asked. I'm going to help you guys with some practical ways that you can reduce the amount of time that you spend on social media. The first one is turn off your notifications. That is a very simple way to start it off. Apps like Instagram have limits now that you can place on yourself. Like you can get it will alert you that, hey, you've been spending this amount of time on social media, and it's up to you to respond to that. So you can do that. Another thing is put your phone far away before going to bed. That way you don't end up on social media for hours upon hours before going to sleep. Also, find a new hobby or pick up an old hobby. That's something that could replace the amount of time that you spend on social media. Or you could join a social club, hang out with friends a little bit more, and that will encourage you to be more socially involved and things like that. So let's just review what we talked about. First off, avoid the negative effects of social media, right? Avoid those frowny faces. We don't like those. Second, let's aim for receiving the benefits of actually dethroning social media. Let's get those happy faces of reducing our social media time and take advantage of those practical ways that I mentioned to achieve better overall health, and by putting restrictions on your social media usage. Social media definitely has the potential to do great things, but it also has the potential to encourage self-deprecation and destroy real-world relationships. So, as I know it is in your best interest, let's continue to grow in health and maybe think about reducing the time that we spend on social media. And I guarantee you it'll change your life for the better. A cool quote to leave you guys with is, whatever you feed grows, and whatever you starve dies. Thank you so much for listening.
Yes. Nice.